Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Hello again, and welcome back to the W.A.I.T channel. What am I thinking? Today, just get your seatbelts on because we're going to probably shoot through these topics so fast. The news cycles recently have been, for me, really like a nightmare. It seems like every day I wake up, every evening before I go to sleep at night, some crazy idea, some idiotic law, some precedent, some emergency act is coming across the news wave, the radio, TV, whatever, regarding some ideology that has no basis in fact. So this morning, I was just informed by my sister Tracy about something that, first of all, my jaw dropped because I literally could not believe. So we're just going to jump right into this information that she shared with me, and I'm quite sure you are going to be just as shocked as I was when I first heard it. So I'll let you take it from there, Tracy.
Okay, so we are typically used to governors and state legislatures coming up with laws, and whether we agree with them or disagree with them, we know that that is part of their role in the state. In the state of Missouri, the state attorney general, whose role it is, should be to prosecute and to make sure that those who have broken the law are held accountable, has chosen to put in an emergency rule that goes into effect on April 27th and doesn't expire until February of 2024. And it says that transgender patients, and it doesn't specify an age because we know they have been trying to stop those under 18 from starting their gender affirming care. But this doesn't specify an age, and it says they have to undergo at least 15 hour-long sessions of therapy over the course of at least 18 months before seeking gender affirming care. And it requires the physicians to track all adverse effects, as if physicians don't already do that. It's called side effects of gender affirming care. Brace yourself for this. They have to track it for at least 15 years, and they should determine whether the patient has, once again, hold on to your seats, determine whether the patient has autism. Okay, one more part of this. Having any mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, would apparently disqualify trans people from accessing gender affirming care in the state of Missouri. So doctors who may already be in the process of treating a patient who may deal with anxiety or depression, which is a very common mental health issues that all people, regardless of age, sex, gender, deal with. But now this would disqualify you from seeking this specific kind of gender affirming care, which, if they know anything about it, the anxiety and depression is probably because they are trying to feel like their authentic, real selves in their skin. So it is so crazy to me that that they would make this law. I don't know the motivation for this particular state attorney general for doing this, but it's sickening.
So the next thing I want to do is moving forward, because clearly this to me sounds like individuals whose civil liberties are going to be negatively impacted.
Big time.
People who are going to lose voices that are guaranteed to them by our Constitution because of some individual or individuals have an agenda. If you don't like the word agenda, I'm not quite sure what else to call it, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when something quacks like a duck, I was taught that probably is a duck.
Or at least in the duck family.
This ideology where they are looking at sexuality, female reproductive systems, it seems quite strange to me that these swift changes are occurring in states that are a certain color, not blue. So if they're not blue, they're another color. And that the governors of these states are of a certain party affiliation. And it seems to me like each person has some type of assignment where they are testing ideologies to see how far they can get with it, and if it works for their state. Blueprint might be created to see, well, how will it work in my state that is not blue? And a particular governor of a state, I love Mickey Mouse, basically said this, that we're not woke. So if you're going to tell me that also you're after certain ideologies because you personally, not the people that you're supposed to be representing, don't want it, this has turned into a personal agenda for them, where it is no longer about the people that they are representing. It's an ideology that they're trying to force fascism down people's throat.
And they can no longer cloak it in Christianity and religiosity, which is what it is, because one of the quotes for the day that I had was this: Jesus told his friends that religious people weren't the ones who decided who got into heaven and who didn't. He said the people who followed him should think of themselves more like the ushers rather than the bouncers, and it would be God who decides who gets in. We're the ones who simply show the people their seats that someone else paid for. So they are showing up and trying to be the bouncer of the club, and that's not their job. Their job, and so you can't ground this in Christianity or religious beliefs, because that's not the way it was intended to work. You can't force it down someone's throat. This is between that person and whatever belief system they have. So it's almost like the pretense of that has even been washed out the window, and they're just doing whatever the heck they want to do. And so it's up to the people, the voters, to make a decision that they're tired of it and send these people from the state house to the outhouse. It's time for them to go.
So listen, we really want to know what you are thinking about these, not just this topic, but what is clearly going on across the country. We will leave a link to the article that Tracy read, because just hearing the highlights of it, it doesn't penetrate in the same way as if you were to actually read what is going on in Missouri and how it is going to impact the people that live in that state. So we could go on this topic, but we're not. We want to hear what you're thinking. So please leave comments. Let's start a conversation. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.